Okay, here we are. Yeah, I'm behind you. Yeah, over here. Yeah, no, turn a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. Yo, hi. Yeah, that's me. Yes, let's get back to Exodus. We've been doing some little trips here and there, been doing some little excursions here and there. All ties together the same story. The mission is how to get out of Egypt, how to get Egypt out of us. We're living in some very drastic and dire times, and people have to understand, we have to start thinking for ourselves and look back at the past examples there to see what exactly we should have been doing, what would we have done if we were them, and what should we be doing going forward. Because we live in some very drastic times, and we're going to do a little something now. It's going to be a little bit of a jump around here and there. Forgive me, I have food in my mouth. Can't eat breakfast still, it's midday, it's a Sabbath. We're going to do a little jump around here. I'm going to go through the book of Leviticus quickly in the virtual Bible, kind of like the Bible app on the Apple Store. Leviticus, kind of like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, a little bit of reading, a little bit, 2, 3 verse, here might be a longer one, and then more, to get to Numbers. So we went from creation in Genesis into Adam and Eve, into going into all the way down to the flood, Abraham, and Isaac, Jacob, and Jacob's other descendants, to now be left in Egypt. All right? Joseph and his brothers, until he finally fell asleep, they died, and then the descendants became slaves in Egypt for over 400 years. And then for them to finally be rescued and delivered by Moses, to God's mighty work and hands, to Moses with the help of his brother Aaron and Miriam, and to teach Pharaoh a lesson, as the rest of the world, that God does put a difference between his and those who claim to be God themselves, but are not. Where are we in that number? Where are we? Are we part of the mixed multitude that came up with them? Are we part of the Israelites? Are we part of the Hebrews? Are we part of the Egyptians? We don't know. We gotta know. So let's join me a second. I know it's gonna be a little tedious, but we're gonna jump around here in Leviticus chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. You're gonna read it to the note brick. It's a nice little system, nice little speaker box here we got from Amazon. Nice listen. He has a good bass. He has good sound. I like the reader. He does a very good job with the Bible app. I like it. So I want to just talk about it. So we're going to have a little time here, learning more about Scripture and giving God praise while I try to finish my breakfast. Okay? And no matter my crusty toes, remember, no matter what you see, you just got to hear God. Not through me, but just to hear God. He's talking. The world is to listen. He's talking. The sky is gray and cloudy up above. Hopefully we'll get rain because it's been a hot spell for a while. Like you see in the video that might be getting uploaded presently. The ground is kind of parched. Here is not bad having water here by itself, but other places very parched. So, I want to tell you so many things. So many analogies I can give. But like this, like the parched ground in the midst of a green little, I'll say a little oasis. And we have a little time to kind of take a little respite, a little break. Let's use the time wisely because the days are evil. We have to redeem the time. So, not going to take too long and keep you like this. Let's say we're going to start, okay? So by the grace of God, join me. And let's say a quick prayer to start. Heavenly Father, thank you for your blessings for another day, another Sabbath, Lord, to take the time to study your holy word and to learn more about you and about your people. To learn about the past, to see how exactly we should live our lives to be better and to be ready, prepared to meet you when you come back in the clouds of glory. Please forgive us for our sins and shortcomings and help us to never forget you are God, God alone. And we need to make the decision to stick with you no matter what. Your name be praised, Lord. Just may pray. Amen. God bless. Thank you guys in advance for your time. I know you might be challenged, but you've seen longer videos. I got short ones, big ones, but a lot of big ones, right? Road tripping and stuff, trying to get the message out any way possible because some people like to see a road trip, like to see scenery, like to see background, like to see the camera moving up and down here and there, zooming and zooming out. I like to see action and stuff, but sometimes just a simple plain word is just as good. So I pretend as if you're here with me. I'm talking to you. I'm a little bit nervous even talking to you like this. I'm like, it's recorded. I'm going to have to delete and edit, but I'll just keep it as it is because I'm like, I only want to tell you things of love and things of kindness and goodness, But I pray that you have the time to take to join us, okay? I'm going to try to say I'm going to do this multitasking, try to eat food and watch this. So I'm going to ask my kind assistant over here, Mimi-san, to help me to hold it while I'm trying to eat some food. I'll jump in every now and then say something, but you know what it is? Can't do it alone. Can't do it alone for real, okay? You ready? Let's go. Let's start. Leviticus chapter 1. I'm going to jump around here in this. I'll let you hold it while I try to work the camera, okay? Get me? If the camera sets to bob and stuff and she's getting sleepy, I'll take it away. Not because she's bored per se, but because she's had a long, busy week. She's been working hard, doing lawn care and all this stuff too. And working hard in the hospital. So, we get tired too. We keep it real, but I gotta eat. I want to eat both physical and spiritual food, so you can get dinner in the movie. Well, at least breakfast in the movie, something wrong. As long as you can eat, right? Ready? God bless. Let's go. Rolling.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 1. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish.
We'll pause it. We're going to talk about the offering, the tabernacle system, offering for sins, some treatments of leprosy, the clean and unclean meats, about what had to do, the priesthood of Aaron, and what Moses had to do, some special things of cities of refuge and stuff. Leviticus has a lot of details in it, but I'll talk more about the special ones. We talked about the Levitical system and stuff like that, the priesthood. Those are pretty good, and not too detailed much, but it's more also about the clean and unclean meats. Because people say, I can eat what I want and do what I want. No, we cannot. We can eat it if we choose to, but there's really specific food that we can and cannot eat. And the ones we do eat, you have to have them prepared in a certain way. So those things people kind of gloss over. I don't know. I'm just in the interest of time, so you don't get bored listening to the same thing, reading, because it's very detailed how the Bible goes into it, even for ways of caring for different things in the system. I'm going to go over it. But it's kind of like, you have to kind of hear it. But I'm going to jump. But if you have the time, go back and read over the story of Leviticus in the Old Testament, King James Version of the Bible, okay? I'll go more into, I want to get to Numbers. But Leviticus is between Exodus and Numbers. So I got to kind of, you kind of skim through it, okay? So join at me. Okay, little bits and bits here and there. God bless. Burnt offerings.
He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him.
Use no imagination.
And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
A bullock is like a cow, or a carabao like an oxen.
And he shall flay the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priests shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priests shall burn all on the altar, to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Now, the reason why I say this is significant, the order of how God specifies what he wants is very significant. The sacrificial system is supposed to point to Jesus. So how shall we point to Jesus? How is Jesus going to be involved in this sacrificial system? To be the atoning sacrifice, the lamb slain from the foundation of the earth. Because remember, you'll read about sacrifices a lot in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, it only happened until Jesus was crucified. After then, the veil in the temple was rent, was torn. And the lamb got out for the temple, got out for the altar lamb. But Jesus was the lamb slain. That's it. He came to be the atoning sacrifice once and for all. So the sacrificial system and the sanctuary system on earth was emblematic of the one in heaven. Jesus is doing a heavenly sacrificial work there, and an officiating work as an official high priest for us, that Aaron and the other priesthood would follow. But Jesus is telling us he's the one doing all of it for our benefit and honor. He's helping us. And this for our honor, our salvation, but his honor and glory. Okay? So you may ask, what does this mean about the blood sacrifice offerings? Use your imagination, think about it, listen to it. If you have your Bible, please join us and read along with us. I'm in Leviticus chapter 1. I'm going down to verse 10. Read along with us in your Bible. Okay? And just listen to it. I'm eating while I'm doing this stuff because I want to hear, but I'm going to jump in every now and then until you understand. It's a message of love. God knows what he's talking about. I'm going to jump here and there, okay? God bless you.
And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish, and he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar, and he shall cut it into his pieces, with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all, and burn it upon the altar, It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part, by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
These sacrifices and offerings you're going to hear later on in the other parts of the story, like including of Samson and the angel Manoah, other things, including of David and Saul, up until the New Testament.
Leviticus
Very important
2.
they are.
And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour. And he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons the priests. And he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in a pan, it shall be of fine flour, unleavened, mingled with oil.
Unleavened.
Thou shalt part it in pieces, and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil.
You notice you hear a lot of terms that you use even today in modern times. Frying pan, bacon, oblation, unleavened flour, unleavened bread, unleavened thing. Unleavened usually means without the yeast, without the thing to make it rise. Okay? Some people use spicements and other stuff for cooking, but those who are cooks and chefs, those who like to cook, prepare meals. This is important. God is very specific about what he wants to be specific on. He knows why, but he's also, some people say vague or quiet on other things, but he wants you to not focus on so much, including like his day of birth. Even though we know that he's born on the sacrificial and the day of resurrection, but he's very specific on why he said to remember like the Sabbath, specific on. He didn't say to go on but Good Friday and other different things, but he's specific on what he wants you to remember. He tells you. And the ones he said remember, the world has forgotten. The one he said don't focus on, the world seems to focus on. It's like total opposite. Like, what's going on? But he's very specific about what he wants to tell us. These preparations are very important.
And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto the Lord. And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire.
Verse 11.
No meat offering which ye shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven, for ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, in any offering of the Lord made by fire. As for the oblation of the first fruits, ye shall offer them unto the Lord, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt, neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt.
Salt? Why is that specific ingredients?
And if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruits green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it.
So corn and other things, even though it's not meat, like we think meat of chicken and beef and all that stuff, it's called a meat offering. When you say give me meat offering, it doesn't mean like, give me like a supposed appetizer, give me the real stuff, the good stuff. What does it mean by these things?
The beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
Go to Leviticus 3 now. Peace offering.
Leviticus 3. And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offer it of the herd, whether it be a male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord.
No blemish.
And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about.
Very significant.
And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Now, you may hear something and be like, oh, some people check out. Oh, I'm going to sleep. Forget about check out. It is funny you forget about it. You know when I read the Bible, I tell people, have a Bible, one hand if possible, digital, or hardcover, soft cover. Have a dictionary in your phone, somewhere, digital one if you can, or a hardcover one, and read it. When you see what the calls, the fat, all these things, what do they mean? Keep the line. For those of you who are working in, say, who have, say, eaten animals before, or had to prepare a meal of meat and to kill the animal, fortunately, when you take away the entrail, take the skin and open it, you see the system, the intestines, the gut, the bowels, the gut system, the intestine, the kidneys, all this stuff. You see all the stuff comes, all the entrails, you take it. Those terms are very interesting. They can be used also in wartime talks too. Why did he just make it so descriptive? There's a reason why. You'll see later on into the whole story what does it mean. Everything has a purpose and a specific thing for it, even the preparation and the sequence. Very important.
And if his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish.
No blemish.
If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle the blood thereof round about upon the altar.
Going to verse 9.
And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof, and the whole rump. It shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about. And he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savor. All the fat is the Lord's. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood.
You eat neither fat nor blood. Do not eat fat or blood. Do you see how these are also important when also in food preparation? But when you go to the store and the steak or the restaurant and they say, let me get some steak or some food medium rare, you know the flavor of the chicken also, where this flavor usually comes from? The fat and the blood. So do we see that our preparations may not be exactly in line with what God has it prepared? Because he said to eat the food, drain all the blood out of it, and the fat and stuff remove for him. But he said here, verse 17 of chapter 3 of Leviticus, Old Testament, King James Version, it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood. So if you don't eat any blood, for those cannibals, sorry, I say for you, no blood. For those like eating the fat and the greasy, fatty foods, not healthy, not good. And he tells you later on, you get heart disease and all the issues for that. You're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff. So, just saying, God has a preparation. God has stuff ready to still for people to follow. It's like, well, that's the truth. We may have a like in a certain thing to a certain taste, but is it right? That's the thing. We got to be specific. So, I'll do it God's way. I'm a vegan, though. Even a step further. I want to go back to the fruit, nuts, grains, and the berries, and the herbs.
Leviticus 4.
The sin offering.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord, concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin which he hath sinned a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood, and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards. And
for those of you keep asking, I'm gonna stop talking, so I just want to let you guys get a little intro. The Lord hates people, he hates humanity, he's never involved. He's gonna kill us and destroy us right away. He wants to blot and destroy us. Didn't he say that the priest is one supposed to be the one holding the message of God? If they make a mistake and maybe they sin themselves, because no one is perfect in God's sight. Now, since after the fall of Adam and Eve, we're all sinners, saved by God's grace. If they make a mistake, he doesn't zap and destroy them right away. He gives them time, and he gives them time to make an atonement, to make a retribution. Not retribution, but to make reconciliation, to make peace with God. Offer a sacrifice, like we beg for forgiveness. God likes to forgive people, help people. Helps us to get to. He gives us time to get it together. He's not here to zap humanity, destroy humanity in one blow. He's trying to help us. So, very important.
2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys, it shall he take away, as it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock and all his flesh, with his head, and with his legs, and his inwards, and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place.
As I said, we're going to jump around. That's Leviticus 4. We're going to jump to 5. Let's give you a little taste of the chapters, okay? We're going to 5 now. 5 is talking about the sinner. What God wants for them if he makes a mistake.
Leviticus 5. And if a soul sin, and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he hath seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty.
So then, well, first, listen to this. He said, if the soul that does something, I thought the soul is inside of some people, as some people believe. No, we are a living soul. There's no separate entity apart from us. We are a living soul. So if he said the soul sinning, it's a soul. So there's nothing flying and hovering around and leave us and go anywhere. No. So one thing, but also even touching dead animals and dead things, there's specific things we can and cannot do that he said we can do. So it'll go more in detail. If we go over this stuff in detail for this now, we don't have the time for it. There's a lot of stuff. Let's get a little bit longer to hear what uncleanness is. Because this becomes important in the lesson of Samson and other people later on that eat unclean foods. So we don't eat pork and swine, rats and other kind of creatures, rabbits and other things. There are foods we can and cannot eat, but not these. We need to be clean.
Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he hath sinned in that thing. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord for his sin which he hath sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats, for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin. And if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons unto the Lord, one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering.
Including this one of issue of blood. Remember the lady who touched Jesus' garment when she had an issue of blood for 12 years in the New Testament? Important that too. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 6. Just jumping around, little bits and bits.
Leviticus 6. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, If a soul sin, and commit a trespass against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely, in any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein, then it shall be, because he hath sinned, and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he hath sworn falsely. He shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add the 5th part more thereto, and give it unto him to whom it appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done in trespassing therein. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. It is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burning in it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire hath consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it. It shall not be put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order upon it. And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar. It shall never go out. And this is the law of the meat offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord, before the altar.
And he continues with more specifics how he does in that. And it's, wow, the fire shall not be put out. It's always burning. So it's like, you know, every time they made a mistake or anything bad, they had to have a trespass offering, a peace offering. Because it said, the Bible tells the soul that sinneth, it shall die. That means every time you sin, there has to be a penalty for something. But every time there's an offering made, a creature's dying. So then, what should the people do? Should they keep sinning? But every time they sin, some innocent animals die. The beasts and the birds and the goats and the sheep and the bullocks, and the cows, they're not sinning. Why should they die for our sins? They're the innocent ones, aren't they? What about Jesus? Let's go to Leviticus 7. Trespass offering. Let's go to 8. Let's have more offerings. We're trying to go through it because it's a lot. I wish I can show it to you guys, but it's 9. Induction. Then Moses called Aaron and his sons. This is what he gave there. This is when he told Aaron and them how each time dedicating them to be the high priest and stuff, you know? How to have offerings without blemish. And go to verse chapter 10. Just telling you what's happening there so you know. 10 talks about exacting service. So this is here. So, well, maybe I should do this and let you see first. You want to go back to 9 again? So he told Aaron and his sons what they should do to be a peace offering in verse 9, in chapter 9, right? What they should do to be part of the priesthood. Maybe I'll talk about that. Let's talk about that. What they should do and what they should not do. Chapter 10, 2 sons of Aaron did not listen to what he told them. God gives us time to get it together. He tells us what it is, and he asks us, requires of us. Let's go to 9 and talk about it first. Here it is.
Leviticus 9. And it came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. And he said unto Aaron, Take thee a young calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering without blemish, and offer them before the Lord. And unto the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, Take ye a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both of the first year, without blemish, for a burnt offering. Also a bullock and a ram for peace offerings to sacrifice before the Lord, and a meat offering mingled with oil. For today the Lord will appear unto you.
Dedication.
And they brought that which Moses commanded before the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the congregation drew near, and stood before the Lord. And Moses said, This is the thing which the Lord commanded that ye should do, and the glory of the Lord shall appear unto you. And Moses said unto Aaron, Go unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering, and thy burnt offering, and make an atonement for thyself, and for the people, and offer the offering of the people, and make an atonement for them as the Lord commanded. Aaron therefore went unto the altar, and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself.
When you hear the word atonement, break up the word. Atonement, atonement. Some people say at one. At one meant to make us in one with God. To make us at one with God. Atonement. At one men. To make us one. Emmanuel, God with us. We have to become one with God.
And the sons of Aaron brought the blood unto him, and he dipped his finger in the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the bottom of the altar. But the fat and the kidneys and the caul above the liver of the sin offering he burnt upon the altar, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the flesh and the hide he burnt with fire without the camp, and he slew the burnt offering. And Aaron's sons presented unto him the blood which he sprinkled round about upon the altar. And they presented the burnt offering unto him, with the pieces thereof, and the head, and he burnt them upon the altar. And he did wash the inwards and the legs, and burnt them upon the burnt offering on the altar. And he brought the people's offering, and took the goat which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and offered it for sin as the first. And he brought the burnt offering, and offered it according to the manner. And he brought the meat offering, and took an handful thereof, and burnt it upon the altar, beside the burnt sacrifice of the morning. He slew also the bullock and the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings, which was for the people. And Aaron's sons presented unto him the blood which he sprinkled upon the altar round about. And the fat of the bullock and of the ram, the rump, and that which covereth the inwards, and the kidneys, and the caul above the liver.
Very important.
And they put the fat upon the breasts, and he burnt the fat upon the altar. And the breasts and the right shoulder Aaron waved for a wave offering before the Lord, as Moses commanded. And Aaron lifted up his hand toward the people, and blessed them, and came down from offering of the sin offering, and the burnt offering, and peace offerings. And Moses and Aaron went into the tabernacle of the congregation, and came out, and blessed the people. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the people. And there came a fire out from before the Lord, and consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat, which when all the people saw, they shouted, and fell on their faces. Leviticus 10. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from the Lord, and devoured them, and they died before the Lord. Then Moses said unto Aaron, This is it that the Lord spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, Come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they went near, and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moses had said. And Moses said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar his sons, Uncover not your heads, neither rend your clothes, lest ye die, and lest wrath come upon all the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which the Lord hath kindled. And ye shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. For the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you. And they did according to the word of Moses.
This is Leviticus chapter 10. That was verse 7. We're going to 8. The reason why, you see what happened to Aaron's sons? He gave them specific duties to follow. If you read the rest of the chapter up until this point, specific things how to make fire and stuff. What kind of fire to have on the altar? What to do? And he told them, do it specifically that way. Those two sons chose to do it their own way. They didn't care. They disregarded what God said. And fire broke out of the Lord and he consumed them. God doesn't play with people. He doesn't play around. You're thinking, oh, God's like one of us, one of my homeboys. You God, you G. Be very careful. Very careful. He told us in advance early. These things, be very careful how you respond, how you act. So don't mourn for them, else God will deal with you. They did some bad things. When the soul sinneth and willfully does it, they'll pay for it. Ellen G. White, in E.G. White writers, Ellen G. White, the prophetess of God, she calls herself the Leslie, the prophet of God, who lived during the 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s. She has a lot of stories, a lot of explanations of these details, like a concordance, where she talks about in the book of Patriots and Prophets, why did God exact such a strong punishment on them right away? Because God wants to make sure that when you do something in a public scene and setting, public sin gets public rebukes. And if you do something that everyone sees, God will do something that everyone will see. And they'll say, oh wow, make an example of them. God does things in a very specific way. Other times he gives you time to get it together. He acts when he acts and intervenes at different times, and it's like, what it is? It's amazing. What you see right in front of you here in the bag, it's like a frozen smoothie. I'm letting it cool off because it's hot today. Letting it cool off so I can eat something later. But I'm just, forget me, I'm eating them kiwi and stuff before. I'm eating some stuff here, but I just want you guys to see spiritual food, but physical food you need too. But spiritual food is very more vital and important. God is very peculiar about what he asked them for. And later on, as you go through the rest of the stories, you have to build a foundation like a house. You have to kind of lay the groundwork. These are the timbers, the wood, the nails, and everything tells you how it goes. So you have to understand, what is the sacrifices that they're doing? What is this thing that they're doing? What's all the bullocks? What are the offering? What's all the incense? What are these things doing? David went to get the showbread into the house. What is this? The priest Abiathar? What are all these things? We did a little jumping around before, back and forth. And as you read the stories back and forth, as you come up to this point, you hear some things. It'd be best for everyone to read the Bible from the beginning to the end to get an idea or understand of what it is. Old Testament up until the end of Malachi, and then New Testament, Matthew up until Revelation. So the Old Testament, you don't hear the name of Jesus mentioned, right? As the word Jesus in there, because it's talking about what the people, Jesus' virgin, these us, the people, his children, his creation, what they're doing, what people are doing. Trying to keep the God's word and messing up here or fulfilling it, the prophets, everything they're doing, all points into Jesus is coming to show us what God the Father is like, how he lives on earth, and what he's like to the people, how he loves humanity, not trying to blurt us out and destroy us in every instant. So it's very important to read these stories. So I say, please, take time.
And the Lord spake unto Aaron, saying, Do not drink wine nor strong drink,
No alcohol.
thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. And that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean.
Right.
And that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Lord hath spoken unto them by the hand of Moses.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses spake unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar, his sons that were left, Take the meat offering that remaineth of the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and eat it without leaven beside the altar, for it is most holy. And ye shall eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due, and thy son's due, of the sacrifices of the Lord made by fire. For so I am commanded.
That idea of, specifically, he keeps making mention in the word, a specific, so the adjective, unleavened and unleavened. Unleavened means it's like the pure, unadulterated, straight stuff, just natural as it is. Leaven means you added something to make the bread rise. You added some yeast, you added some Fleischmann, some carbon dioxide. You added some stuff to make it rise, and you get this nice fluffy bread. Unleavened bread is more flat, like a pan-like bread. I used to eat some of that when I was my friend used to make this. My boy Michael used to make it, and his mom used to make it for us all the time. Very nice. I live back in Brooklyn. Very specific what he does. So when Jesus tells the disciple later on, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. Beware of the leaven. Leaven is what they put into the unleavened bread first, right? Or the flour. And that turns it from unleavened to leavened, because now you added something to make it rise. So God said, beware of the leavening of the scribes and the Pharisees. Beware of the teaching, the doctrines. That physical item has a spiritual meaning. So not just what you see is funny, is what he means. He means what else? Thinking about it. What does it mean by that? So the Bible explains itself. He says, here a little, there a little, line upon line, precept upon precept. You have to study the Bible in totality from the beginning to the end to see what does it mean. But don't just do that. I don't memorize everything. Read it just for read and say. Just read and say, just to get a general picture, and then you can go back and read it again in detail, and go back again. And you always listen. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm still reading the Bible, piece and piece here and a piece and piece, and I'm doing this stuff in the Bible studies. I'm getting to read it over again, and every time I say it has no meaning, it's like wow. Now I understand things a lot differently and better than I did before. I'm like, oh, that's what he meant. Some things I'm like, but Lord, what about this? But Lord, how come you like this? But how come it's like, is it sure? Like here's something I was thinking about even last night. Yes, and I saw this pastor answer this. People have this thing about these like nudist colonies around the some parts of the U.S. and other parts of the world, and I'm like, how is it? I see some countries to walk around naked. It's indecent exposure. It's lewd behavior, L-E-U-D behavior. It's bad. Everything with L-E-W-D, whatever they want to call it, it's bad. But yet some days, like in the UK, they have like a day to ride nude, ride your bike nude around the country. That's kind of hypocritical. Also in America, they have some parts where they say you can't be nude, walk around a place in a bathing suit or naked in the street. You get arrested. They get things and these obscene. But yet in some parts, like in some colonies around the U.S., like in Seattle, Washington, other parts, you can be naked. I'm not going to. They don't charge you with a crime unless you're trying to entice somebody or do something to kind of mislead people, or do something to like to kind of sell like prostitution and stuff, or maybe trying to expose yourself or do bad things with yourself. Self-abuse is the Bible use it for people who do bad things. So it's like something that's because the body stuff is not a sin. To see a body, you look in the mirror, you still looking at yourself in the body, no. But to looking at another person's nakedness. For those people having the nude colonies, the nude communities, all that stuff there, sorry to tell you that, but it's not condoned in the Bible. I know you want to be free of clothes and all this thing upon you. So would I, including taxes and other bills we have to pay, and credit cards, all that stuff. But walking around nude and naked in front of other people, that's not your husband and wife. Not good. You and your husband and wife can be nude as you want in your house. Do your thing. I have it. Give God praise, right? But to walk around naked in a nude colony, other people to watch your nakedness, the Bible is all telling you to cover up. You told Adam and Eve, you gave them sheep. First they had what? After the sin, after the fall of man's sin, they knew that they were naked, right? And they covered themselves with fig leaves. Later, God gave them clothing of sheepskin to cover them up. Why? The body stuff is not a sin, but to show your nakedness to other people, you might entice some people. Their minds may not be good. They might lose self-control. They may go and rape and attack and assault you. Other things. People might look at you and say upon you. Their mind may go to more defiling, debasing to the other sexual thing, carnal desires. So we have to walk around naked in front of people so they see your backside and your body, your breasts, everything else. And everyone keeps trying to see how far they can go with the envelope. How much midriff, how much cleavage they can show, how much this they can show, how much skin, how much things. Everybody dancing and acting in the movies and stuff is in some kind of bikini or bathing suit, something else. Naked as they can go. G-strings, they call it dental floss and thongs, all kind of stuff they want to do. As naked as can be. God said dress modestly and show, in proper apparel. We don't need to see your DNA. We don't need to see every detail about you. Just be yourself. Show the humble, quiet spirit of you. You pick on ladies, I pick on ladies. Guys too, he in the speedos and other stuff. Guys can walk around and show the bare chest, but then it's like, lady do it, sacrilege, all this thing, Saying there's a lot of double standards, but it's like, I ain't saying dress up in a full garbage. If you're drowned in the water, you wear that stuff in the wind and get wet. It's like, no. I'm saying, but you have to dress carefully and modestly. That we have to not be a stumbling block to our brothers and sisters. Dress appropriately, not to try to bring your brother and sister down, not to go into competition with the next girl. Who got the best butt cheeks, who got the best legs, the best thighs, the best thing, who got the best tan lines, all kind of stuff. Our bodies are not our own. Our bodies are God. It's a gift given to us. You see anybody walking around at 89 years old wearing the same thing that they're wearing, the G-string and thong, how do you feel? Yeah. A lot of weird things happening, man. So I'm saying, God knows what he said. Cover up, dress modestly and be good. Cover up, don't say dress like I do dress in a full thing and tough, You can dress properly and not dress, not cross the line between a man and woman. Some people wear robes, some wear gowns, some wear, those kind of outfits. I'm like, but not to go there and walk around naked and nude. So those nude colonies, I'm sorry, God loves you the same. So now that you know, please take advice and cover up. I need to hide in the bush or trees. That's what Adam and Eve did when God came calling for them. Don't be hiding. God's calling for you. Just keep going, do the right thing. Put on some clothes. God bless you.
And the wave breast, and heave shoulder shall ye eat in a clean place, thou and thy sons, and thy daughters with thee. For they be thy due, and thy sons' due, which are given out of the sacrifices of peace offerings of the children of Israel.
Yeah, what he's saying is this. It's the reason going behind the tithing system as well as also behind the issue of how do you say you give a wage to the priests and the prophets. Those who speak in the office in a officiating capacity for the church. as how we got to survive and eat and provide for families, the priests need to be fed too, and they need to have a job. So their job is to do the work of presenting the message to God and conducting the sanctuary service and helping the offerings and everything. And as a gift to them, as their wages are, or their gifts to them would be to have some part of the offering for themselves. You know, they'd be able to either be given some of the meat to have to feed their family, take care of themselves. So that they have to go there and have to go hunt and forage and do all that stuff at the same time while trying to care for them. Though they can go and have gardens and stuff to provide other things for them. But just saying that that's their portion. They got a portion. So God gives. You give God, you sacrifice to God and do work for God, He gives you back something too. So they were given a piece of themselves, giving their time and effort, their talents and everything to help God's work and doing it. Later on, when some people decide to take it upon themselves, remember the sons of Levi? They decided to take it upon themselves to take the stuff, take the offering, and fight the people to take the food from them, and even to go sleep around with the people coming to help them. I mean, the Bible has some stories that you'd be like, what? Yeah, some of the sons of Levi were sleeping around with the female people coming to offer services to God and coming to go and worship God. You're not supposed to do that. Priests and stuff. Well, first of all, God never said a priest should not get married. God said man and women need each other. It's not good for the man to be alone. So it's okay to marry. So this idea of priests not marrying, that's not in the Bible. Sorry, it's not in the Bible. It's not biblical. But Peter had a wife. Okay? It's okay to marry. And it's actually better to you to marry. You get yourself out of a lot of temptation. You get to release your energy and to take care of things better. You get to be happier. Happy wife, happy life. God bless you. So it's okay to marry. Stop listening to the people who don't know what the Bible says. Don't listen to God. Those who don't listen to God tell you all these fake things, and then they get themselves mixed up and confused, and then they oppose themselves and then mess you up too. Next, all the people are getting raping boys and raping girls and raping the nuns. Why do you think all this pedophilia is happening? Why do you think all this homosexuality thing is happening? When you tell people don't do what God said to do, they do what they think they should do. It's not of God, and they get themselves into more trouble. But with God's way, there's no trouble. You get married, it's a good thing, it's a blessing. But you don't get married and go rape a boy or rape a girl and sodomize somebody. That's a problem. Look what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. It didn't end well. Do it God's way. Better. Get married, have fun, do it the right way, be obedient to God, do it God's way. Cannot hurt. Wife is a good thing. Proverbs 31. You can find a virtuous woman. That's the one you should find.
The heave shoulder and the wave breast shall they bring with the offerings made by fire of the fat, to wave it for a wave offering before the Lord. And it shall be thine, and thy sons with thee, by a statute forever, as the Lord hath commanded. And Moses diligently sought the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burnt. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the sons of Aaron, which were left alive, saying, Wherefore have ye not eaten the sin offering in the holy place, seeing it is most holy? And God hath given it you to bear the iniquity of the congregation, to make atonement for them before the Lord. Behold, the blood of it was not brought in within the holy place. Ye should indeed have eaten it in the holy place, as I had commanded. And Aaron said unto Moses, Behold, this day have they offered their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord. And such things have befallen me. And if I had eaten the sin offering today, should it have been accepted in the sight of the Lord? And when Moses heard that, he was content.
That's taking one for the team. But they should have done it God's way. Saved a lot of arguments.
Leviticus 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts, which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Clean and unclean meats.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
Like cows and sheep and goats.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof. As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof,
no camels.
He is unclean unto you. And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
No pork.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Abomination.
They shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you.
Like octopus, squid, and shrimp.
And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination, the eagle, and the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gyre eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat.
Not to eat those.
All fowls that creep, going upon all four, shall be an abomination unto you.
Not to eat them.
Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat. The locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind,
Interesting.
and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind.
Interesting.
But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. The carcasses of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all four, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the even.
Verse 32.
And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the even. So it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel, whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven, or ranges, or pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean.
Very specific.
But if any water be put upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beasts, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten, and the beast that may not be eaten.
So we hit the context. What food we can eat, what food we cannot eat. You say, I can eat it, I can want it. It tastes good. We're not eating that. Some foods will kill us. Some foods the Navy and all have shown that the
Leviticus
best thing
12.
is God's way. God's way better.
And the Lord spake unto Moses,
That's
saying,
how you wear your clothes.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed, and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised,
Circumcision.
and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled.
Interesting.
And if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon, or a turtle dove, for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, who shall offer it before the Lord, and make an atonement for her. And she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that hath borne a male or a female.
Very interesting.
And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean.
Very interesting. Having a child, how was ritual purification back then? I wonder. I'm not going to go over
Leviticus
details
13.
and everything now, just for the interest of time.
And the Lord spake unto
How
Moses
to
and
deal with
Aaron,
leprosy
saying,
now? Leprosy.
When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or a bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priests. And the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy.
Priest is like a doctor now.
And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days.
You see, even back then, so when you hear Jesus' time, you hear the stories. Unclean, unclean, and people saying, "Oh, Jesus, Son of David, heal me." Leprosy. It's like, huh? Leprosy? What do you know about leprosy? The Bible talks about it from the Old Testament. So you need the Old Testament to point you what the New Testament is going to talk about. And when you hear it, it's like, well, leprosy, how do you deal with it? Excuse me. God gave the specifics on how to deal with leprosy back then. How to quarantine and separate the people and to not mingle and stuff and have good hygienic practices. He told them how to go in and have good sanitation and good stuff there. Since back then. Some people say, oh, this is modern medicine. God knew it since back then to tell the people what to do. So it's nothing new to us. Leprosy has been there for a long time, but what about this? What about that? Most likely God already spoke about it. If he didn't, including what to eat and what not to eat, tells you. What I was saying before about the unclean and unclean meats, he's shown us, and other people did the studies to find out, including the Navy, that the food that God specified to eat is actually the best way, and the way he specified how we should eat it is a better way. Like even for instance, fish. What foods to eat? The fishes with fins and scales are better. So no shark, no lobster, no crayfish, no lamb, no mollusk, no mussels, all that stuff. None of that. Those are not healthy. But GG fish and all that stuff, you know, what do you call it? Salmons, those kind of stuff is good. But shark and all the things, not to eat it. Whale blubber, all that stuff, not to eat it. There's a reason why. Later I showed you that they doesn't do it. The cholesterol and other things that happen in it, the impurities, including catfish and other things that bentos dwellers live in the bottom of the ocean. Those that clean up the swamps and clean up the fish in the riverbeds and stuff like that. Those have toxins in their bodies and stuff. They have things in their body to help them to purify and clean up the environment. But we don't have it. Crabs and other stuff, we don't have those things in our body to break down the impurities that they have. They have different chemicals in their body to break it down, different enzymes. But we don't have those things. Well, we don't have to be eating the crabs that eat the garbage, and those that eat carrion or that eat rotten dead flesh. Those animals eat different things. And when we eat the animals, well, we all eat, right? So then if we, you notice, the creatures that God gave us to eat are those that eat most likely freshwater things and fresh foods, not those that eat dead matter. And then God said, God is a living, not of the dead. He wants us to eat things with life and good things in it. But to avoid all the stuff with the meats and everything else, go vegan. Plants, fruits, nuts, herbs, and the berries. An apple or grape or watermelon or pineapple is a lot different than eating like a shrimp or lobster. It may taste good, but is it really good for us? God knows. He knew why.
And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean.
You understand? This is what they have with quarantine measures. Not what they did with the COVID stuff, but it's stuff how they have people, if you have a sickness or illness where you can spread by contagious by contact, and they have them separated apart from the rest of the community and the group. Let them get better and get healed and bring them back in. So God knew this is to happen, but not the way they did it, when they did this last reenactment of how this COVID thing went. But listen to this. It's like you look at it and you say, well, how they did this? It's so amazing how they had these priests have such an officiating role to play to be able to witness and stuff. You hear any doctors, anything mentioned? Yeah, but the priest was like a doctor at that time too. So there are many different roles and functions of the leaders. But what I tell you that these are measures that God gave them after leaving Egypt, traveling to the wilderness experience of in the Exodus, getting to the Exodus experience, traveling through there to go to the Promised Land. They have to learn some things on how to care for themselves, how to take care of themselves, bodily and hygienic. They have to learn how to take care better best practices. So that's what he's doing. He's telling them these are some things to learn. Here, in Egypt, before you came there, you were eating good stuff. When you got defiled, eating the king's dainty meats, whatever they gave you, as slaves, you ate what they gave you. Now you're not a slave anymore. Figuratively, and now we want to get it out of you psychologically. You're not to be a slave anymore. Eat the food that God gives you, the holy, healthy food. Manna. Every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. Manna. Manna. Eat the food from man that God gave you. Angel food, as they call it, right? You got to tell them, because we are what you eat. And if you eat food that's bad, unhealthy, it can clog up your thinking faculties and mess up your blood and your brain, mess you up so you can think different. You can also get different infections, including if you eat pork and swine, pig, you can get something called trichinosis, chicken and larvae, muscle aches and joints because of worms and larvae stuck in your joints and muscles, and even go to your heart. You can get really sick eating some bad food, including parasites and other stuff. So, and some people tell you they have a lot of parasites in their body right now, all moving around their body, traveling here, hookworms, tapeworms, all kind of stuff in the intestines. It's a mess in here. But eat plants and vegetables. They have their own issues too. Some things, you gotta make sure you clean it and cook it right. Some of them, or eat it properly. But you do it God's way. You have a lot less risk. God's way is better. It's healthier. But so these things are telling other people, you learned this way back then. Now you have to unlearn those stuff. Now here's the specific. Here's what you should eat. A lot of things you learn, but because of being under heavy trauma and conditioning and heavy stress of what you've been through. And I heard also that when we're stressed under certain conditions, when our bodies are under a lot of pressure and a lot of things happen, bad circumstances, of plagues, or maybe I'll say like maybe the Great Depression and other stuff, our genes can be affected by what is in our environment, what stimuli we have. So I don't believe in evolution, but I believe we can learn to adapt to our environment. So our genes, our bodies can also be affected by what we make and how to do things. I think based on the environment. Like for example, do you know that a baby's immunity most times is very highly dependent upon when they breastfeed. When the baby needs something and they breastfeed, the mom somehow, miraculously, can understand what the baby needs, from just the way the baby's sucking, from what exchange goes between the baby and the nip and the breast, to then give it the antibodies and stuff it needs in its body. So the baby's telling mom what it needs, and the mom is giving it back to the baby to help her. I'm like, my Lord, could you imagine that? Mom is helping the baby to develop an immunity by just from breastfeeding? Do you see why breastfeeding is so important? Women, you have such an important role to play. Why are people thinking women just do this and this? Not just to push kids out and have fun or be somebody's Daniel toy here and there. You're here to help give people immunity to help save their lives. Women, you're here saving lives. You're building nations. God called you for a holy calling, a big calling. That's a big duty. But they don't see that. They're busy killing these babies and telling women you don't need them. Go abort them. Lord, help us. That is the Bible will tell you. We're all important. Men and women, you need each other. We need God more than ever.
It is but a scab.
Wow.
And he shall wash his clothes and be clean.
Talking about leprosy.
But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. And the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if the leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that hath the plague from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean. And the priest shall see the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean, it is a leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again, and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. He is clean. The flesh also, in which even in the skin thereof was a boil, and is healed. And in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white and somewhat reddish. And it be shown to the priest. And if, when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the boil.
Wow.
But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days.
Why would God tell him all this? You have to learn how to diagnose things. Country living, wilderness living, you have to learn how to look at your body and see, is something right with me? Am I all good? Am I healthy? My body working good? I'm making a mess of the food here. But I'm just saying, they have to know how to diagnose these things to say, hey, because if you don't tell them something, a contagion or something, disease is going to hit one person and affect the whole group. And they say everyone's sick and messed up. Leprosy could kill people back then. So I'm saying God said they can go there and heal and get better. You don't hear about it nowadays. I hear about wet leprosy and other stuff, but I'm like, I've not seen a leprous patient before. I'm like, I wonder about it. You know, all the years in the hospital, thank God. But I wonder how it is you be able to live with it. But I heard some countries still have it there, like in the Middle East and stuff. You know? But I'm saying, God knew back then to tell them, this is how you care for them. You have to learn to care for people and be aware and to notice these things and to speak up and tell them what's going on. You know? But not to out shots and try to treat them so horribly as they do nowadays in some parts. But God knew. But does God not want to be with people? Does God not want to inform us on how to take care of ourselves in our lives? He's giving us specific things of what to do and what to not to do. He's trying to teach them and train them. Spot these things in order to be attentive, observant.
And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days.
And leprosy seemed to be big when Jesus was around. In Jesus' time, unclean leprosy. He's a leper. The leper had a camp. They had lepers camps. So I'm like, why was leprosy so big back then? They say, I really wonder. Thank God I'm not alive there. You know, I'm like, it's going to be scary. Because some of them, you have to kind of put them in a different camp. You can't be together with the rest of your family. You have to be separated. Leprosy was big. Wow. It's amazing. I wonder what communities is still big today. I'm like, that's amazing, you know, but they had to take care of it. They had to address it.
And the priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. For it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or the beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scall. even a leprosy upon the head or beard. Let the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it. Then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the skull 7 days.
And you read this is from Leviticus chapter 13, King James Version of the Old Testament. They have more in it too, if you want to study more later on. But to study more details, I'm just giving you little tidbit, little teasers on it. Let's go to Leviticus 14. I want to get you to Leviticus to show you a lot of stuff. I want to get to the numbers. Just give me a chance. What time we're having on the video right now?
1:10.
Hour and 10 minutes already? You've been around for hour and 10 minutes listening to all this stuff? God bless you. God bless you. And listen, we're gonna go to Leviticus quick and then get to the other 10. 110. We're at verse, that was chapter 13. There are 27 chapters in Leviticus. Just think of little tidbits and I'll stop at the good ones real quick. 110. Wow, that's quick. Let's go. 14. So it talks about the law. The Lord spoke unto Moses about the law, about the lepers and how they have cleansing. We're going to skip that. You're going to learn that later on as well. 15. Personal cleanliness. How should you take care of themselves? How to take care of yourself, clean your body, wash up water and everything, how to clean yourself and your flesh and everything else. Yeah, he does how to wash himself. You just bathe, water every day. It's interesting. Yeah, you need to clean yourself. You need to take a bath. God tells you to do that. So people say, hey, I understand that. Take a bath. Bath is good. Chapter 15, chapter 16. Day of Atonement. The Lord speaking to Moses. Okay. Here, just a little bit of it. The Day of Atonement. What happens on the Day of Atonement? Day of At-One-ment. Let me search.
Leviticus 16. And the Lord spake unto Moses after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, when they offered before the Lord and died. And the Lord said unto Moses, Speak unto Aaron thy brother, that he come not at all times into the holy place within the veil before the mercy seat, which is upon the ark, that he die not. For I will appear in the cloud upon the mercy seat. Thus shall Aaron come into the holy place with a young bullock for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering. He shall put on the holy linen coat, and he shall have linen breeches upon his flesh, and shall be girded with a linen girdle, and with the linen mitre shall he be attired. These are holy garments. Therefore shall he wash his flesh in water, and so put them on. And he shall take of the congregation of the children of Israel 2 kids of the goats for a sin offering, and 1 ram for a burnt offering. And Aaron shall offer his bullock of the sin offering which is for himself, and make an atonement for himself and for his house.
The priesthood again. So God's showing us before you take care of anybody else, take care of yourself first. Make sure yourself is clean. The priest had to make sure their life was in order first before they go and try to speak and tell everybody else. You know, let me go help you and make an offering for them. If the priest was not properly doing and cared for himself and go to God, officiate in the presence of God for God's people, he would be killed. That's why some of the priests, well, later you learn, had to put different kind of bells around their garments and stuff to wear. So as they're officiating in the house of the priest, if they didn't hear the sound of the bells tingling, 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 priest is probably struck dead. So they have to be careful how they officiate. Make sure life is clean. They didn't have no impurities in their bodies. They have to make sure that they were doing the right thing. If they were doing the wrong thing, they would be killed. So God said, you have to be careful. When you're speaking for God and to do what God does, you better do it right. Don't take a chance with God's thing. He will kill you. Sorry, he will kill you. Yeah. So don't play. So I'll skip that one. Let's go down to 17. But to learn that, when you see later what happened. Chapter 17. Law of holiness. But sacrifices. Yeah, let's go. That's a little brief skim of that. Law of holiness. Let's go. A little something on 17.
Leviticus 17. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and unto his sons, and unto all the children of Israel, and say unto them, This is the thing which the Lord hath commanded, saying, What man soever there be of the house of Israel that killeth an ox, or lamb, or goat, in the camp, or that killeth it out of the camp, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation to offer an offering unto the Lord before the tabernacle of the Lord, blood shall be imputed unto that man. He hath shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people. To the end that the children of Israel may bring their sacrifices which they offer in the open field, even that they may bring them unto the Lord, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest, and offer them for peace offerings unto the Lord. Then the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar of the Lord at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and burn the fat for a sweet savor unto the Lord.
That's what the term goes. Without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins. Someone had to die for the sin. The sinner was supposed to die for every sin. But God didn't want to kill people. So instead, the innocent animals would pay the price for the sinner, having his blood shed, which is supposed to point and lead us to Jesus. The sinless, spotless Lamb of Jesus was going to die for sinning mankind. We're supposed to see the sin and say, I don't want to sin no more. Remember, no sinning, excuse me. Excuse me. That's good ice cream. No sinning means no need to sacrifice. That's pretty much it. They were supposed to get fed up by seeing all the blood flowing from all these animals dying daily. The innocent animals dying. They were like, this is too much. I don't want to see any more dying of animals being killed. Did they stop? Unfortunately not. They kept sinning, and the blood kept flowing and flowing and flowing. Even to our day now. Has it stopped? Have people stopped sinning now? Not because God's not able to do it, because that's what sin does. It propagates, it's like a weed. It keeps growing and growing until finally, eventually, if God doesn't come and end it, it'll kill itself and kill everybody else around it that has sin on it. So God, so when He comes back, if we have sin in our lives, on us and in us, when we live if we have sin around us and we don't forsake and forgive the sins that we have in our lives, when God comes back, that sinner will die with the sin. But if we forsake our sins, say, Lord, forgive me, and ask God for forgiveness and change and repent and say, Lord, forgive me for sin, any sin I've done in my life, God forgives us. And He forgives no more. So God says, come, reason with us. Let us reason together. Though your sin be like scarlet, red, blood, I shall make them as white as snow. He wants to cleanse us and make us new. Get rid of all that sin stuff. But some people like to hold on to the sin. That's going to be the problem. So, God don't want that. So He says, I'll let you finish the rest of this. Leviticus 7. He talks about what happens to what men do, some sacrifices they make, including unto devils. Let him speak for himself.
And they shall no more offer their sacrifices unto devils, after whom they have gone a-whoring.
A-whoring.
This shall be a statute forever unto them throughout their generations. And thou shalt say unto them, Whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers which sojourn among you, that offereth a burnt offering or sacrifice, and bringeth it not unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, to offer it unto the Lord, even that man shall be cut off from among his people. And whatsoever man there be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, that eateth any manner of blood, I will even set my face against that soul that eateth blood, and will cut him off from among his people.
He doesn't like that.
For the life of the flesh is in the blood.
I understand.
And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood that maketh an atonement for the soul. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, No soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And whatsoever man there be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn among you, which hunteth and catcheth any beast or fowl that may be eaten, he shall even pour out the blood thereof, and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, the blood of it is for the life thereof. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh, for the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off. And every soul that eateth that which died of itself, or that which was torn with beasts, whether it be one of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. Then shall he be clean. But if he wash them not, nor bathe his flesh, then he shall bear his iniquity.
We get it, right? No blood eaten. No food with blood dripping off. No raw, medium raw steak and stuff. Get rid of the blood.
Leviticus 18.
He's very serious.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, and keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord.
We're going to pause there, end the video there, to start the next one, because this is the big one. So halfway through Leviticus, he's specific. Do not eat blood, and please, we have to stop sinning. Too much shedding of blood. We have to be specific how God has it. There are foods we can and cannot eat. There are things we can and cannot do. One thing not to do is eat food with blood laden. Do it God's way. Wow. He don't like it. God bless you all. We're going to catch up. Part 2 of Leviticus and come just now.